VICTORINOX Swiss Card Lite or VICTORINOX MINICHAMP. Which one should you get? Now, these are completely different tools in different categories if you ask me. Some may think they shouldn't even be compared, but some may find one more useful than the other. And that is why it's important to compare them in order to find out which would be the best tool option for you. So today we're looking at the comparison of similar tools they both have in common, the additional tools each one has, plus I'll also let you know which one of these I use more often and which would I recommend. Let's first put the tools next to each other and compare the dimensions. We'll start with the VICTORINOX Swiss Card Lite. This comes in a plastic casing which is the size of a credit card. The plastic casing on the card is translucent, so this is helpful in the way that you're able to see what tools are inside the card. This is a great feature because you're able to see all the tools. That way you know what tool you're about to pull out. As mentioned, this is almost the size of a credit card. The dimensions are height 0.2 inches, length 3.2 inches, and width 2.2 inches. And the weight comes in at 0.9 ounces. Next, we have the MINICHAMP, which comes in a traditional VICTORINOX multi-tool design. The dimensions of the VICTORINOX MINICHAMP are length 2.3 inches, width 0.8 inches, and height 0.6 inches. And the weight comes in at 1.6 ounces. So when it comes to the weight, the Swiss Card Lite is lighter. Based on the dimensions and design, both are easy to carry. The MINICHAMP's small design makes it ideal to carry in your pocket, even in the small pocket of your jeans. This can also be carried with your keys. Now the Swiss Card Lite, even though it's wide, it's quite slim. And thanks to that flat design, you're also able to put this tool inside the pocket of your jeans. And surprisingly, it even fits into the smaller pocket of the jeans. It may not be able to hang from your keys because it doesn't include a lanyard ring like the MINICHAMP, but it fits perfectly fine inside a wallet and can practically go unnoticed. That is certainly something that the MINICHAMP cannot do. Now the Swiss Card Lite costs anywhere between 30 to 52 US dollars, depending on where you're looking to purchase it at, while the MINICHAMP costs on average about 60 US dollars. Now let's take a look at the tools included. The Swiss Card Lite has a total of 13 tools. Those are the letter opener / blade, scissors, stainless steel pin, ballpoint pen, tweezers, magnifying glass, 2 flathead screwdrivers, 3mm and 5mm, 2 Phillips screwdrivers, 00-0 and 1-2, an LED light, and 2 rulers, which come in centimeters and inches. The MINICHAMP has 18 tools. These are toothpick, tweezers, pressurized ballpoint pen, key ring, cuticle pusher, letter opener, screwdriver, 2.5mm, ruler, centimeters, and a ruler in inches, orange peeler, scraper, scissors, bottle opener, Phillips screwdriver, which is magnetic, wire stripper, a blade, nail file, and finally a nail cleaner. First, let's look at the similar tools they both have in common, and those are the letter opener, scissors, ballpoint pen, tweezers, and a ruler. Now the letter opener is slightly bigger on the Swiss Card. It's also wider too. If you ask me, this is considered more as a blade. So you could say that the Swiss Card's letter opener has 2 functions, that of a letter opener and that of a blade. When compared next to the blade of the MINICHAMP, the Swiss Card's letter opener is slightly bigger and wider too. Next, you have the scissors. Similar case like the letter opener, the scissors are slightly bigger in the Swiss Card Lite. You obviously have a longer grip on the MINICHAMP scissors because you're grabbing onto the rest of the tool, whereas in the Swiss Card scissors, you have a smaller handle, but you have a hole for you to slide your finger into. In both cases, I do feel that the scissors work fine, but it's just a matter of getting used to the grips. Once you get used to the grip on either one, you'll have no problem using them at all, regardless of which one you choose. Next, you have the ballpoint pens. In the case of the MINICHAMP, you push the pen out using the retractable lever on the side. In the case of the Swiss Card Lite, you pull out the pen. Similar to the scissors, with the MINICHAMP, you use the entire tool as your grip for the pen. Whereas for the Swiss Card Lite, you have to get used to the thin design of the pen. In length, they're almost the same size, but you have a better grip on the MINICHAMP, in my opinion, because of its thicker grip. But regardless, it's just a matter of getting used to the grip. These are not meant to replace your daily pen. They're more for an emergency. For those cases when you can't find any other good regular size pen, you just pop one of these out and they'll get the job done just fine. Next, you have the tweezers. When it comes to the tweezers, these are practically identical. They are the same size, length, and width. They're also the same color. Nothing different on these. They both function exactly the same. As we know, these always come in handy and they work exceptionally fine. The final tool that they both have in common is the ruler, or rulers, shall I say, because both come with centimeters and inches. The difference is that the Swiss Card Lite has 2 separate rulers, one in the front and one in the back, while the MINICHAMP has a one-sided ruler and only displays the centimeter numbers. The only reason you can tell it has an inch ruler is because the measuring marks, which measure about 3¼ centimeters, so you know that's close to 1¼ in inches. Nowhere does it show measurement numbers in inches though. But anyways, the rulers on the SwissCart Lite are bigger as they measure 3 inches or 7½ centimeters. Now let's look at the additional tools each one has. We'll start with the SwissCart Lite, and those are magnifying glass, stainless steel pin, 2 flathead screwdrivers, 3mm and 5mm, and 2 Phillips screwdrivers, 00-0 and 1-2. And you also have an LED light. The magnifying glass is always a great tool to have. This comes in handy when you don't have your glasses and you need to read some small letters, or if you're getting ready to insert a micro screw so you can get better visibility. Many uses for a magnification glass, that's for sure. Next, you have the stainless steel pin, which is very useful to pop open SIM card slots on phones. They can also come in handy to reset some electronics that may have a needle-sized reset button. Plenty of uses for the pin. Next, you have the flathead screwdrivers, the 3mm and 5mm, and the Phillips screwdrivers, 00-0 and 1-2. Now, these screwdrivers come in a 4-in-1 tool. You get the flatheads that come in sizes 3mm and 5mm as mentioned, and you also get the 2 Phillips screwdrivers in sizes 00-0 and 1-2. Now this comes in handy when unscrewing small screws, like the ones in toys or in a remote control or a flashlight. So this definitely comes in handy for emergencies when you don't have your toolbox on hand. The size of the 4-in-1 screwdriver tool is about 1 inch. This also includes an LED light. Now the LED may not be the brightest, but in an emergency where you drop your keys or your phone during the night and you don't have any other flashlight, you can use this LED. Some light is better than no light at all. To replace the battery on the LED, all you do is pull the switch all the way back and you should be able to pop it out of place. Then you proceed to pull out the old battery and insert the new one. After that, you just slip the switch back in place and you're good to use the LED again. Now let's take a look at the addition tools on the MINICHAMP, and those are toothpick, keyring, cuticle pusher, screwdriver, 2.5mm, orange peeler, scraper, bottle opener, Phillips screwdriver with a magnetic tip, wire stripper, blade, nail file, and a nail cleaner. First, you have the toothpick, which always comes in handy, but you have to make a choice though. Either carry the toothpick or your tweezers, because you only have space for one of them. So you need to make a choice of which you prefer to carry. I personally prefer the tweezers. Next, you have the keyring, which can definitely be used for multiple things. I actually have a video showing the different uses for the keyring, aside from hanging your keys. I'll put that link in the description in case you want to check it out. Next is the cuticle pusher. Now this is a tool I hardly ever use. I'm sure many find it very useful, but this can also be used for other purposes as well. One of them would be to use it as a flathead screwdriver or even as a pry bar. Next is a screwdriver. 2.5mm, also a great addition to the MINICHAMP. Aside from removing flathead screws, it can also be used for prying or for scraping, so you have several uses for it. Then you have the orange peeler, which I personally think it should have been named a package opener. I'm sure some people would agree with me that it is more useful as a package opener than that of an orange peeler, but regardless of what you use it for, the point is to use it. Then you have the scraper, which is also located together with the orange peeler. It is quite sharp, so you just have to be careful when handling it. Then you have the bottle opener, which is always a great addition to any tool. Next, you have a Phillips screwdriver, which comes with a magnetic tip for those small screws that sometimes you can't quite get a good grip of with your fingers. Well, that is where the magnetic tip can help to hold the screw in place. Then you have the wire stripper, which is located next to the bottle opener. This is probably not the best stripper, but it can definitely help you in a situation where you don't have a good stripper on hand. It's better than using your nails, that's for sure. Then you have the small blade, which we mentioned was slightly smaller than the one on the SwissCart Lite. I think that having the letter opener and a small blade is almost the same thing, but you can see it in two ways. You can either be glad you have two small knives available, or you can think it's pointless to have two blades. I like to think a little more optimistic and be glad to have two knives. And finally, you have the nail file and the nail cleaner. Both are also located together. Both are useful, not just for your nails. You can actually use the nail file to file a piece of wood or plastic, so these definitely do have other uses. It's just a matter of getting creative. So now that we looked at the similar tools and the additional tools each one has, we need to decide which is the best option. Well, you have to consider what tools you usually use. For example, in my case, I normally use the scissors and the small blade, which both of them have. Plus, I also use the pen every once in a while as an emergency. Well, both tools also have a pen, so it isn't an easy choice. But the one I choose to carry more often is the Swiss Cart Lite, and the reason is because of the convenience. It is just so easy for me to carry this in my wallet. I actually have it there permanently, so it is easier for me to pull out my wallet and grab the Swiss Cart Lite than it is for me to pull out my keys and grab the MINICHAMP. That's because I don't always carry my keys with me, or sometimes they may feel a little cluttered and bulky that I end up removing the MINICHAMP. So for me, the clear choice is the Swiss Cart Lite. But again, it all comes down to what tools you'll be using more often. If you're looking to save a few dollars, I would recommend the Swiss Cart Lite. But if you're looking to hang a mini multi-tool to your keys because you're planning on using the bottle opener more often, for example, or if you want it more for camping or hiking purposes. If you want something more resistant to beatings, then go for the MINICHAMP. But like I said, it all comes down to what you plan to use it for. But let me know in the comment section, what do you think? Which one do you prefer? Which one do you have? Do you have them both? And if so, which one do you use more often? Regardless of which one you choose, they're both great for different reasons. They are such great quality and reliable tools. That is all I have for y'all today. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Also, don't forget to leave your comments. Which do you prefer? Thank you for your time. I'll see you in the next one.